Ladies and gentlemen, life is not changed by grand gestures or sudden decisions. No, life is changed by the simple, often unnoticed things we do every single day. The habits you practice determine the life you live. If you desire change, if you dream of success, you must first look at what you are doing daily. Because as it stands, you'll never change your life until you change the habits you do daily. Think about it. Our habits are like seeds planted in the soil of our lives. What we water will grow. If you water your day with habits of procrastination, doubt, and indecision, then the fruits of that will reflect in your life. But if you choose to plant seeds of discipline, focus, and perseverance, the harvest will be completely different. You see, it's not the big decisions that make the difference. It's the small, seemingly insignificant choices that you make consistently over time. Consistency is where true power lies. It's easy to set a goal. It's easy to make a promise to yourself in a moment of inspiration. But the real question is, what are you doing daily to see that promise through? The habits you commit to, no matter how small they may seem, will dictate your future. Let me tell you this, successful people are not successful because they are unlucky. They are successful because they have disciplined their habits. They understand that success is not what you do once in a while, but what you do every single day. You must take responsibility for your habits because no one else will. Every day you are either moving closer to your goals or further away. There is no neutral ground. Now, here's the key: start small. Real change doesn't come from overhauling everything at once. Start by changing one habit, one daily routine that you know is holding you back. It might be waking up earlier, spending more time reading, or simply cutting down on distractions. Whatever it is, understand that it's not about how big the change is. It's about making a change and sticking with it. But none of this is possible without a shift in mindset. To change your habits, you must first change how you think. If you believe you're incapable of change, that's exactly what your life will reflect. But if you believe that you have the power to create new habits, to build the life you've always wanted, then you will find the strength to change. It all begins in your mind. The habits you practice every day are the building blocks of your future. Each of us has dreams, desires, and goals we want to achieve. We envision a life of success, fulfillment, and purpose. But what many fail to realize is that the foundation of that future is laid in the small, seemingly insignificant actions we take daily. You cannot change your future unless you first change the habits that define your present. Habits are powerful forces. They shape not only your actions but also your identity and the outcomes of your life. Many people spend years wishing for change, hoping for better opportunities, and dreaming of success. But they remain stuck, not because the opportunity isn't there, but because their habits are holding them back. It's easy to get caught up in the belief that life will somehow improve by chance or through a sudden, dramatic shift. But the truth is, the real transformation comes from the repetition of small, deliberate actions over time. The habits you engage in daily, whether good or bad, are the ones that accumulate to either propel you forward or keep you stagnant. Imagine a person who dreams of financial freedom but has developed the habit of overspending on unnecessary things. No matter how much they desire wealth, their daily habit of poor financial management will ultimately prevent them from reaching their goal. Or consider someone who wants to be in great physical shape, yet has formed the habit of unhealthy eating and a sedentary lifestyle. Their desire for health is undermined by their daily choices. The dreams may be there, the intentions may be pure, but without addressing the habits that govern their daily life, they will never see lasting change. There's an often overlooked truth that success in any area of life doesn't come from one big event or a sudden stroke of luck. Success is the result of consistent positive habits. It is the small daily actions that you take, which compound over time, that lead to massive results. This principle is not restricted to one area of life. It applies to your health, finances, relationships, career, and even your personal growth. Consider this: if you improve just 1% every day in any area of your life over time, that improvement compounds. In a year, that 1% improvement each day will have created a monumental shift. But if you neglect the importance of daily habits, allowing negative patterns to persist, they too will compound, dragging you further away from the life you want. This is why it's crucial to become aware of the habits you are nurturing. What are you doing every single day? Because those daily actions are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. You might say, but I have big dreams, I have big goals, and that's great. But the real question is, what are your habits? Are they in alignment with your dreams? It's not enough to have aspirations if your daily actions are working against them. You may want to be successful in your career, but if you've developed the habit of procrastination, that success will remain elusive. You may desire a strong, healthy body, but if your daily habits include skipping workouts and consuming unhealthy foods, you will never achieve that goal. The beauty of habits is that they work both ways. Just as negative habits can hinder your progress, positive habits can transform your life. Every small positive change you make, when done consistently, moves you closer to your goals. Let's say you want to grow your knowledge in a particular field. If you make it a habit to read for just 15 minutes a day, over time, that small daily action will compound into a wealth of knowledge. It's not the single 15-minute session that will change your life, but the repeated action over months and years that will. The challenge, however, is that habits, especially negative ones, are hard to break. They're ingrained into your daily routines, often operating on autopilot without you even realizing it. That's why the first step toward change is awareness. You need to become conscious of the habits that are controlling your life. Take stock of your daily routines, your behaviors, and your thoughts. Ask yourself, are these habits helping me become the person I want to be? If the answer is no, then it's time to make a change. This process doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, discipline, and most importantly, consistency. It's not about making huge changes all at once. In fact, trying to do too much too quickly can lead to burnout and failure. Instead, focus on making small, incremental changes to your habits. Replace one bad habit with a good one. If you struggle with procrastination, start by setting a small daily goal to complete just one task. If you want to improve your health, start by incorporating a short workout into your routine, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. These small changes may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they will lead to massive results. The key to changing your life lies in changing the habits you do daily. Your future is not determined by what you do occasionally, but by what you do consistently. If you want to change your life, start with your habits. Recognize their power, take control of them, and use them to create the future you desire. Change is a gradual process, and real transformation requires consistency over time. It's not about making one big move or a sudden shift that alters everything overnight. Instead, it's the small, deliberate steps you take day after day that ultimately lead to significant change. Consistency, in this sense, is the key to achieving lasting success in any area of life. What you do regularly shapes your habits, and your habits, in turn, shape your future. The problem most people face is that they seek instant results. They want change to happen quickly and dramatically, but true progress doesn't work that way. Think about it like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, you don't expect a tree to grow instantly. You water it, give it sunlight, and nurture it over time. Slowly but surely, that seed grows into a tree. If you abandon the process halfway or stop watering the plant after a few days because you don't see immediate results, the growth stops and the potential is lost. The same applies to habits and change in your life. You must be willing to nurture your habits consistently, even when you don't see immediate progress. Consistency is the discipline of showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel or what the circumstances are. It's easy to start something when you're feeling motivated, but the real challenge comes when motivation fades and you're left with the daily grind of repetition. That's when consistency becomes crucial. It's not about doing something once and expecting results. It's about doing it over and over again until it becomes second nature. The most successful people understand this. They know that success isn't a product of one-time effort. It's the result of consistent action taken over long periods. Take, for example, someone who wants to get fit. They might go to the gym for a week, work hard, and expect to see a transformation. But when the results don't come fast enough, they lose motivation and quit. What they fail to realize is that fitness, like many other goals in life, is not achieved through a short burst of effort. It's achieved through consistent work over time, going to the gym regularly, making healthy food choices every day, and maintaining those habits even when it's tough. The visible changes may not appear right away, but over months and years of consistency, the results will be undeniable. In the same way, building a successful career, improving relationships, or achieving personal growth all require consistency. You cannot expect to develop expertise in your field by working hard for a few weeks and then slacking off. Mastery comes from showing up every day, learning, improving, and pushing through the challenges. It's about being willing to put in the work, even when progress seems slow or when there's no immediate reward in sight. Consistency is what separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. One of the reasons people struggle with consistency is because they become discouraged by the lack of instant results. We live in a world that values speed and immediacy, but real growth and success don't operate on that timeline. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean your efforts are in vain. Every action you take, no matter how small, contributes to the bigger picture. Success is a cumulative process. Each step you take, each habit you cultivate adds up over time. It's like compound interest small. Consistent investments lead to exponential growth in the long run. Another challenge people face with consistency is the temptation to compare their progress to others. It's easy to look at someone else's success and feel like you're falling behind. But you must remember that everyone's journey is different. Some people might see results faster than others, but that doesn't mean you're not on the right path. Focus on your own progress. Keep taking consistent action and trust that the results will come in due time. Comparison will only distract you from your own journey and make you lose sight of the importance of consistency in your life. It's also important to recognize that consistency doesn't mean perfection. You will have setbacks. There will be days when you miss the mark or when things don't go as planned. That's normal. What matters is not that you never falter, but that you get back on track when you do. Consistency is about persistence, not perfection. It's the ability to go in, even after you've stumbled, because you understand that every day is an opportunity to continue building the habits that will lead to your success. Consistency over time builds momentum. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes to keep going. What might feel difficult in the beginning eventually becomes part of your routine, and you start to see progress. This progress, in turn, fuels your motivation to keep going, creating a positive cycle of growth and improvement. But it all starts with those small, consistent actions you take daily, even when it feels like nothing is happening. If you want to change your life, the key is to commit to the process of consistent action over time. Don't be discouraged by the lack of immediate results. Trust the process, keep showing up, and focus on the habits that will lead you to your desired outcome. Remember, it's not what you do once that matters, it's what you do consistently. Every small action you take today is shaping your future, and over time, those actions will compound into the success you've been working toward. Stay consistent, and the results will follow. The habits you engage in today are not just isolated actions, they are patterns that will shape the person you become tomorrow. Every choice you make, whether small or large, contributes to the trajectory of your life. Most people don't realize the immense power of their daily habits because they seem so ordinary, so insignificant in moment. But the reality is that these small, everyday behaviors accumulate over time, forming the foundation of who you are and who you will become. Your future self is the result of the habits you practice consistently today. If you want to know where you're headed, look at the habits you've cultivated. Do they align with the person you aspire to be? If your goal is to be successful, healthy, and fulfilled, but your habits are inconsistent, negative, or self-sabotaging, then you will inevitably move further away from that vision of your future self. You cannot expect to achieve greatness by maintaining habits that are holding you back. Think about it this way: every time you engage in a habit, you are casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. If you make a habit of waking up early, setting goals, and being productive, you're casting votes for becoming a disciplined, focused, and successful individual. On the other hand, if you develop a habit of procrastination, neglecting your responsibilities, or making unhealthy choices, you're casting votes for becoming a person who lacks direction and discipline. These votes add up over time, and eventually they define who you are. The key to understanding how habits shape your future self lies in recognizing that they don't operate in isolation. A habit isn't just a single action, it's part of a larger pattern that influences other areas of your life. For example, if you've developed the habit of regularly exercising, you're likely to experience positive ripple effects in other areas of your life. You'll feel more energetic, which can improve your focus and productivity at work. You may also develop greater self-discipline, which can translate into better decision-making in other areas, such as managing your finances or personal relationships. Negative habits often have a domino effect. A habit of staying up late watching television or scrolling through social media can lead to poor sleep, which affects your mood, energy, and productivity the next day. This can lead to poor performance at work, strained relationships, and a general sense of dissatisfaction with your life. The habit of staying up late might seem harmless in the moment, but over time, it contributes to a larger pattern of negative consequences that shape your future self in ways you might not have anticipated. The good news is that habits can be changed. You have the power to reshape your future by consciously choosing the habits you cultivate today. But this requires awareness and intention. You need to become aware of the habits that are currently shaping your life, both the good and the bad. Take a moment to reflect on your daily routines. Are your habits helping you move closer to the person you want to become? Or are they keeping you stuck in a cycle of mediocrity? If the answer is the latter, it's time to make a change. Changing your habits is not an easy process, but it is entirely possible. It starts with small, intentional steps. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. In fact, trying to change too much at once often leads to failure. Instead, focus on changing one habit at a time. Start with something small, something manageable, and commit to it consistently. Over time, that small habit will become ingrained in your routine, and you can build on that momentum to tackle larger changes. One of the most effective ways to change a habit is to link it to a specific identity you want to embody. If you want to be a fit and healthy person, rather than just focusing on the actions you need to take like exercising or eating well, focus on the identity of being a fit and healthy person. Every time you make a decision, ask yourself, what would a fit and healthy person do in this situation? By aligning your actions with the identity you want to embody, you're more likely to make choices that support that identity. And over time, those choices become habitual. This concept of identity-based habits is powerful because it shifts the focus from simply achieving a specific outcome to becoming the type of person who naturally achieves that outcome. Instead of setting a goal to lose weight, you focus on becoming a person who makes healthy choices. Instead of setting a goal to be more productive, you focus on becoming a person who values discipline and efficiency. When your habits align with the person you want to become, change becomes more sustainable because it's rooted in your identity, not just in temporary motivation. It's also important to remember that the process of shaping your future self through your habits is ongoing. It's not something that you do once and then forget about. You must continually evaluate your habits and make adjustments as needed. Life changes, circumstances shift, and what worked for you at one stage of life might not work at another. The key is to remain adaptable and committed to growth. As long as you stay conscious of your habits and their impact on your future self, you'll be able to make the necessary changes to keep moving forward.